There's been a lot of chatter recently about XRP trademarks, with some influencers suggesting this somehow means the US government has patented XRP or even officially recognized it as a legitimate payment method. Take a look at this headline. From CryptoBasic, US patent clearly shows XRP registered as a payment method in the United States. But is that really what it means? Does this headline actually prove that XRP is now an official US payment method? Let's check in with some of the influencers pushing this narrative. So, here's what's been floating around. An influencer who goes by CryptoBarbie, with about 107,000 followers, posted a document from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. At the top, you can clearly see the letters XRP. She captioned it, saying something along the lines of, "Wow, this proves the US patented XRP and officially recognized it as a payment method for financial services way back in 2013. Basically, according to her, XRP was a done deal more than a decade ago, and somehow, we're only hearing about it now, 11.5 years later. Then there's Jack the Rippler. Yeah, I liked this guy ages ago because this is exactly the type of thing he always does. He shared the very same document and, true to form, just slapped a big boom on it. He's one of those guys every piece of XRP news, no matter how old or misleading, is always a boom. But here's the problem: Jack has hundreds of thousands of followers, and this post of his already has over 318,000 views. CryptoBarbie's version racked up around 146,000 views too. That's a lot of people being misled, all because influencers know that hyped up headlines and clickbait get them more engagement and ultimately more money. So let's set the record straight. In the US, anyone can file for a trademark in their industry. A trademark doesn't mean the government endorses the product, nor does it mean an asset like XRP suddenly becomes officially recognized. It only protects the use of that name or logo in connection with certain goods and services. And in this specific case, it wasn't the US that patented XRP. It was Ripple back then called OpenCoin that filed the paperwork. This document, dated December 31, 2013, simply shows that the USPTO approved Ripple's trademark for the stylized XRP name under financial services. That's it. So bottom line, Ripple has filed multiple XRP-related trademarks over the past decade. This is just one of them. It doesn't mean the government itself claimed XRP as a payment method, it just means Ripple registered the name for use in their business. Alright, let me actually show you what we're talking about. This right here is from the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office. All of this is public information, nothing hidden or secret. And honestly, this isn't the first time I've had to bring this up. Over the years, people have recycled the same misleading claims about Ripple's trademarks connected to XRP, and every time, I've had to debunk it. But this time, I felt I had to make a video because the rumor went viral inside the XRP community. Just those two influencer posts alone racked up nearly 500,000 views, and when you consider how far it spread beyond that, we're easily talking millions of impressions. So, yeah, it's one of those moments where you just sigh, facepalm, and roll your eyes all at once. Now, here's the reality: Ripple has a long list of trademarks going back more than a decade. Things like Ripple Custody, LUSD Lust, Riplex, Paystring, and plenty of old product names and logos like Xrapid, Scurrent, and Xvia. It's all standard trademark filings. Nothing unusual, just normal company practice. And among those filings is the one everyone's making noise about: the XRP trademark itself. That's what we're looking at here. So the trademark everyone is buzzing about, it was actually filed back on May 17, 2013, and officially approved at the end of that same year. And let's be clear, there's nothing groundbreaking here. This filing doesn't give Ripple any kind of special authority over XRP or the XRP ledger. In fact, any company building on XRP could file for its own trademark, and as long as it's in a different class or use case, it could be approved. That's exactly why today there are multiple XRP-related trademarks held by companies that have nothing to do with crypto. They can all coexist, because a trademark doesn't equal ownership of the technology. What Ripple filed for was protection of a logo, the stylized XBRP lettering you're seeing on screen right now. That's it. So when you see claims like, the US government trademarked XBRP, or this proves XBRP is officially recognized as a payment method, those claims are flat out wrong. The reality is simple. Ripple did what any business would do. They protected their brand. This wasn't some government endorsement. It was basic intellectual property protection. And here's the kicker. The protection only applies to that exact stylized font. If someone used a slightly different font or design for the letters XBRP, Ripple wouldn't have a legal leg to stand on. That's how limited this really is. So no, Ripple doesn't own the idea of XBRP. They don't have blanket rights over every single use of those three letters. And it blows my mind that some of the biggest voices in the XBRP community keep spreading this nonsense as if it's some major revelation. Look, if you saw one of these posts and hit like or repost, I don't blame you, you probably just trusted the person sharing it. But let's be honest, there are influencers out there who know they're misleading people, and they don't care. Because hype gets clicks, clicks get engagement, and engagement makes them money. Just look at Jack the Rippler's post. Over 4,200 likes, 827 bookmarks, 564 comments, 1,000 reposts, and more than 318,000 views. Do you really think he doesn't know what he's doing? Yeah, I think we all know exactly why he's pushing this narrative. Sure, the hype brings in clicks, likes, and money, cha-ching. But here's the thing, you could do all of that without spreading flat-out lies. It's not necessary. He knows better, and that's what makes this so frustrating. You can build a massive following, get tons of engagement, and still operate in good faith. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, we all make them too. That's human. But deliberately misleading people? That's not okay. Not even close. Now, if you're watching this and you happen to like or repost one of those viral claims, don't beat yourself up. You just didn't know. My point is, be careful about who you trust in this space. There's some huge accounts in the XBRP community, much bigger than mine, that are perfectly fine misleading their followers if it means they get more attention. And since they're going to keep doing it, I'm going to keep pushing back with videos like this. Hopefully, a few of you watching will rethink who you're following and maybe start filtering out the noise. At the end of the day, this kind of nonsense, yeah, it really burns my biscuits. And just so we're clear, not a financial advisor.